Hello, everyone. How's it going? Game Face Killer back again this week. I promise that I am working diligently on getting back up into gear with my Gloomhaven playthrough. I made a really good amount of progress yesterday. I think I'm getting close, maybe within um, a couple of runs, and then I'll have the second boss beat and be ready to go back in looking at that and everything new that's going on there. I don't have there hasn't been any news coming from the game makers, which makes sense, with everything going on. Um, and so I haven't really had anything new to announce that, but I am getting some work done. I should be able to finish that and be back online with that next week. I'm hoping. I'm very hopeful about that. Hey, Joe, how's it going? And so, what we're going to be doing today, I thought it would be a little bit more fun. I know everything's been so grim and tough. So, instead of doing another post apocalyptic game that I was getting ready to stream this week, I decided to kind of have a little bit more fun tonight and and feature a little bit more board games that are a little bit more fun, um, friendly, peaceful, maybe zen like in a lot of ways. And then I also wanted to feature some games starting today. A couple of games that are actually featuring a really cool feature, one of my favorite features that I've ever seen on Steam in forever, which is remote play together, which is very useful now that we're all social distancing and trying to keep away from each other, but then still communicate, socialize, and have fun. So these games, not all of them, just the first one doesn't have remote play. It's actually a single player game. I've never played it before. I'm interested in checking this out. But the other two games that we'll be taking a look at tonight are remote play together. They're multiplayer. They are competitive, but they're pretty light. They're not like in your face, I'm going to screw you over all the time kind of competitive. They're very simple and fun. Um, and there are a small number of players too, so you can play anywhere from just by yourself to two players, three players, four players. They're pretty small count of players, so we'll be taking a look at some of those. And then if worse comes to worse, I might take a look at a few more next week if I absolutely am not done and I need one more week. But I am hoping to try to get done this week because it's going to be a pretty busy schedule from this point on, and it'd be nice to have one game that I'm kind of relying on all the time to get on and play. Um, and so it's pretty exciting to get ready to get back to that. But this week we got some fun games too. So we'll be taking a look at Abalone first by Asmodee Digital. It is a pretty. I have heard lots of really good things about this game, and I think I got it as part of like a humble bundle or something like that. And I know that they are selling a lot of really awesome packs of games right now to help people out. This one is a single player. I'm going to be taking a look at the tutorial since I've never played it before. So we'll go ahead and start on with that now. Okay, we're going to discover this exciting game together. Abalone has two opposing sides, white marbles, black marbles. The object of the game is to be the first to eject a specific number of your opponent's marbles from the board, 6 marbles under the official rules. To do this, each player in turn moves one, two, or three of their marbles toward a free space. Let's see how. You can move in six different directions. There's two types of move: inline. All the marbles move together, one space at a time. Okay. It looks like they can go opposite directions. Push the 3 marbles to the right, starting from the marble to the left. Okay. Push the 3 marbles downward. Okay. A red arrow will appear behind the marbles you just move. It allows you to cancel moves. Broadside. The marbles move laterally without changing alignment. Okay. Push the bottom marble in one of the directions indicated to do this. Tapping the flashing arrows allows you to make a lateral move with 2 or 3 marbles. Okay. You can only push your opponent's marbles when your pushing line contains more marbles than their pushed line. Okay, so I'd have to have 3 to be able to push 2. You can't make a move with more than 3 marbles, so the 4 black marbles can't push the 3 white ones, even though the black marbles are in the dominant position, right? Makes sense. To break a pack of 3 against 3, you have to push in another direction. Okay. Last impossible situation. You can't push here either because there's no free space behind the white marbles. Makes sense? In this scenario, you can push a marble off the edge of the board in 2 different ways to score 1 point. Try to eject the marble. Now you know everything. Okay, that was a simple tutorial, very efficient. Oh, it does have pass and play, but it's interesting they don't have remote play together. Let me double check this. I don't want to like lie to you. But when I went to the store page, they always tell you, and this is something to remember, that if you are playing a game, or if you want to know what games have remote play together, it's really simple when you go to a store page to check out a board game, or there's lots of normal games that have remote play together too. You look in the categories type. Uh, it's sort of right below the picture and the play now button, kind of to the right of where you purchase the games. It'll say things, it's the area that usually says things like single player, that you're going to get Steam trading cards, and whatever other features the game includes. So those categories will tell you, and it'll say just right there, remote play together. This one's not remote play together, but it is pass and play, which is interesting. You could always stream it like I am now, but there's no way for, I mean, it would be really hard, I guess, for people to play over stream. Okay, so I'm going to try a solo game. Human versus regular. Yeah, let's go regular. There's lots of different board setups to choose from. Victory can be increased or lowered. Yeah, let's try this and then we'll go for a challenge. Okay. I'm going to try to build up a little bit of a defense here. Nope, did not want to do that. Okay. Pretty quick. He's making sort of a pointed wedge. So this is nice for him because I can't push directly diagonally up to the left, but I can push diagonally up to the right. Let's see what happens when I do that. Um, okay. So I'm assuming the big thing here is I'm going to need to make sure that I keep my marbles moving together in a group. I'm going to be vulnerable if I get individual marbles together. Um, so I think I'm going to try to move up this way. Yeah, I thought that would happen. Um, so now the problem is, how do I get this white marble by itself? I can't push up this way. I can't push up to the right. Huh. But I can do this to block him from moving forward. Okay. I forgot you can do that too. That broadside move. If I go up that way, or I could just push his marble. No, but that would allow him to push me. He's at the point where he can kind of push me. Hmm. All right, let's try that. He's going to be able to push me off. Man, and there's not much I can do about it. Well, I can move them up. Hmm. Okay. I've So unless he's able to do something, I'm going to hit one of his guys off. Oh, moving backwards is valid. Um, hmm. Okay, I'm trying to get everybody. If I keep pushing up, I'm going to run into the inability to. I need to start breaking up this middle group here. I want to do something really kind of interesting and like break it up right in the middle. But I'm not sure if that'll be smart or if I should do it kind of at the edge. Let's try it on the edge more. So having them up this way will help alleviate a little of the problem I'm having on the left side. Yeah, let's try it. What the heck? Oh, I didn't know I was right on the edge there. And they're just about to push another one of mine off. Dang. Well, let's go back. Yeah, that gets him in a much better position for sure. I'm gonna keep. No, I think if I keep pressure on them here in the middle, maybe I can. trying to drive. I'm hoping this will drive. Man, I have to keep backing up. Okay. Holy cow. I just want to knock one guy out. I'm not even going to be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, they're going to be able to push my guys off. Whew. It's very interesting to see how this kind of plays out. Damn. I feel like I've got him on the run, but I don't quite know. Shoot. And I'm about to get pushed off myself. And it's always tough when you have guys back in the back to waste time moving them. Okay. But he can push me out then at that point. But if I go like this, I don't think he can push me out. All right. At this point, I'm tied. I'm back to being tied. Yeah, it is kind of a neat little kind of Zen game. Um, what if I... Yeah, if I move up into this space, the whites are going to be able to take him out. I think I may have to waste some turns trying to get up and take out that last white. Okay, it's nice to know I'm at least stymieing him a little bit. Hmm. Oh, this is not good. Gotta get some more help up here. Oh yeah, this will force him to move one of these guys up here. Otherwise, I can push him out. Oh well, or you could do that, which would definitely push my guys out. um. Okay, I can do that. Oh, wanted to move all three back. Gives him a little less power because I kind of cut him off in the middle. Okay. So now at this point, I think I should be able to knock his white out. Yeah, but I got to be careful how I do it. If I go up first, that should be safer with the outside here. I'm thinking. I don't know. But now I'm starting to get closed in. But I can hit him in the middle again here. And that should take out a lot of his power there, I'm hoping. Now we can start pushing him back over this way. He's going to be able to push. Yeah, he's in a position to push one of my guys out. So I got to move down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this corner. Okay. Shit. Okay. And he's going to be able to keep pushing. Oh, we'll go that way. Shit. All right. Well, I keep trying to corner him. It's not quite working the way I wanted to, but Ah, fuck. Man, he keeps stymieing everything I do. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. I meant this one. No, we're tied. That's right. Shit. Um, okay. So far, keeping ahead of him like this, I've been able to, I think, corner him just a little bit more. Damn. If I wouldn't have gotten in the way, I think I could have done that. Blimey. Okay, I think I can work on his. Getting these guys. Okay. Man. Oh, I did not see that. All right. Well, it is fun, but it's also kind of one of those things where let's see what the challenges look like. Let's do discovery. Okay. Push the enemy without scattering your own marbles. You begin the game. You must set out one black marble. Okay. So just got to knock out one guy. So to me, I feel like it's stronger to move one or three marbles than just two. Um, and then I've separated. The other thing that's nice is I've separated him out, so he's only working with one marble. That's all I needed. Whoop! All right, challenge. Next challenge. Take action before the enemy regroups. You begin the game. You must set out one black marble. Okay. So I can't go. I feel like if I do this, that's going to be the most likely way to keep him trapped. Yeah. And then I just knock him out right away. Easy enough. All right. Well, that's Avalon 8. It is a pretty neat little um, strategy game. Definitely, it's something as a single player if you're just looking to kill a little time. I know one of the things that's happened to me recently with my work is I end up having like 15 or 20 minutes in between online meetings. And so it's sometimes kind of nice to be able to take a break and just play something mindless and get my mind off of work for 15 minutes, but I don't have a lot of time. So this is definitely a fun one that would be worth coming back to. All right. So that's a great one to look at. The next one we're going to take a look at is probably a step up in complication. But the one fun thing about it is that it does also has um, I'm trying to think if I've played this before. I have played it, I think, on. I gotta excuse me for a second. I gotta get the the window change so you can actually see what I'm seeing. This is Agricola. It's not the Agricola you may be familiar with if you know board games. It is the two-player version. So it's nice for you and a partner to play and hang out and just kind of. It's competitive, but you can always you don't ever do anything directly to each other. You can steal spaces occasionally, but it's not usually too big of a deal. You have multiple paths to victory. Um, so we're going to be taking a look at this is the tutorial, but I also know that the oops, I didn't mean to quit the game. I also know that it doesn't seem to be working correctly as far as the resolution because it was gigantic. If you've never heard of Agricola before, it is a worker placement game. It's a very heavy Euro game, which means that it is usually involving worker placement. You have point systems, and you kind of create an engine, an economy system, and you try to build the best economy. Um, Obviously, that's going to get you more points than your competitors. All right, so you can always play ranked games against people, which is kind of crazy. You can play a casual game. You can invite a friend. You can also do remote play together. Obviously, this is one of the remote play games. Now, how this works is, and I'm pretty sure this is how this works. It's called Magic. No, it's not Magic, but I think what happens is you actually stream the game to a partner who doesn't have the game and doesn't have anything downloaded. You're just streaming the video to them, and then there's also some kind of behind the scenes programming that lets them control your mouse in the game as well. So that allows you to let them control on their turn what they want to do. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, that wouldn't work for all board games, and you're right, it wouldn't. If they have a hidden hand, you'd still be able to see it, I think. So I've never tried anything that has some hidden elements from other people, so that might be tough. I don't know exactly how that would work. But this is not a game where you have to worry about that. So I'm gonna take a look at the old. We're going to take a look at the old tutorial just to kind of refresh our memory. Even if you played Agricola, I've played this once on the iPad, I think. Even if you've played Agricola before, you're going to really need to take a look at the tutorial. It's kind of interesting. It's a very different type of game. Welcome to your own very farm. I am Peter, a farmhand. I don't know, I'm just doing all kinds of accents tonight. The old farmer is gone, and the farm needs someone clever who can figure out the best way to breed the animals. See, this is fun. If you like playing Animal Crossing, it's like Animal Crossing, but in board game form. Um, we got to figure out the best way to breed the animals. Got to make some animals. All right, so we're going to go to our farm down here. You can't see it, but it's in the bottom left. Okay, apparently I quit the tutorial accidentally. Tap the farm symbol in the bottom bar. Oh, I tapped the wrong thing. This is your farm, which already offers 5 farm spaces for animal breeding and a small cottage for you and your loved ones on the bottom. In the end, because this guy kind of looks like Scottish or Irish, in the end, the farmer with the highest population and greatest variety of animals, along with the highest score in buildings, wins. The land is good and well suited to breeding your sheep, pigs, cows, and horses. Your animals want to be kept separate, and each animal needs enough space. The other farmer's land is over here. I hate him. The farmer competes with you for resources and animals associated with market fences and special buildings. Fortunately, this opponent does not play against you in the tutorial. So this is my opponent's farm. Stay on the lookout for your opponent's needs and plans so you can counter them. The most important part of the game takes place in the market square. Your 3 workers perform the actions for you there. So this is the part that's like Agricola. You're going to be placing your workers. They're like your family. Then they can go into town and do different things. So we're going to switch to the market view. Here there are 16 actions. Wow, you can do. Tap any action button to learn more about it. But usually they're very simple, like gather 2 wood or something like that. So it's not overly complicated. But it is kind of a nice little peaceful game, calm and pastoral, you know, kind of remind us of simpler times. Okay, so anytime you want to learn more about an action, what an action space does. This one, for example, builds a stall. This costs 3 stone and 1 reed. You can add it to any farm space without any constructed building, so it can be built on a space with a feeding trough. Okay, so this tells you the cost: 3 stone, 1 reed, and the gear probably just means you're building a building on your land. And it looks like they're wanting me to build something. There's 2 gears here. I don't know what this means. Take a closer look at the special buildings that are available, which all offer something special. Tap anywhere outside the market to go back to the out the okay. So there's different kinds of buildings you can build. Wow, there are a lot of different kinds of buildings. On your left are your current resources, along with your spaces occupied by animals. Your victory points appear below. So I'm at -12 right now, victory points. Tap the victory point button to get more details. Here you'll see how far your victory points are tallied, or how your victory points are tallied. You get 1 point for every animal and additional points per species and number. So Agricola is kind of built on this system where having a variety, versatility of your farm is better than just having one type and a lot of one type. So basically, how the game scores you is you actually lose points if you don't have a certain type of animal, which is why I'm at a negative whatever, because I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any of the 4 animals, so right now I'm at a -12, right? But as soon as I get even just one animal, I'm up to a positive, right? Um, and so that's, oh no, I have to get 3 before I move. No, I have to get 8 before I move up to 1 victory point. So there's a minimum amount you need to get out of that negative, and then you can get special buildings to help give you some extra points. Okay. All right, that's that tutorial. That's it. My 3 workers are waiting for my orders. To place an order, simply drag the worker to a free action space. So I'm going to drag this first worker to come in, and as you can see, there's plus wood, wood, wood. So I'm going to get 3 woods, and you can tell that there's wood available. Somebody's been cutting it for us, so there's 3 available. I think that happens every turn. There's 3 available, but some resource spots will actually build up. So I'm going to check mark to make sure that's what I want to do. Keep in mind that if you use an action, it cannot be taken again that same round, so that's why it's shaded out. And I've got 3 resources now, 3 wood resources. Why don't you use the wood to build some fences around the pastures immediately and secure them for future animals? So I'm going to drag a worker over here to build some fences. And the pictures kind of tell you, obviously, kind of look like what the action is related to. Hey, I dragged her. Oh, she's got a check mark. Now you can transfer fences from your storage as long as you have enough resources. So you can build more than one fence, and they are represented by these little wooden long blocks. Drag 3 fences next to your cottage and build a pasture. As you can see, as you're building them, they get more. Geez, won't even let me. Wonderful. Now I have a place to put some animals. So I'm going to go and get some pigs and sheep. Right now it looks like there's just, what does this say? Thought I was supposed to be able to click, but apparently it won't let me to see information. Um, a pig has been brought to your farm. Okay, so I guess there was a pig available. As long as you have enough space left, your animals will be distributed automatically, but keep in mind they may not always be distributed optimally, so you may have to rearrange them. You can always see the remaining space for each animal. So I only have 2 places left or one other place for a pig in my fenced in area, but I don't have any spaces for other animals because I haven't fenced any areas for them. And keep in mind you have to keep them in separate pens, so you can't put pigs and cows together. After all workers have been placed, the breeding phase begins. Normally your animals would breed, but I need to have 2 animals of the same species for that to happen. This is the start player marker, which defines who may place the first worker, the last player to choose the start player, and 1 wood space gets the marker. Okay, so there is a space where you can put a worker that gives you first starting player. Every turn starts with a refill phase, so every resource is kind of refilled. So some will get more and more resources, and making them more and more tempting to go to. The breeding spaces gain the second animal if the first already exists. So if there's a pig, then so on this bottom one here, if there's a horse, then the next time there's a sheep. Buy another pig, please. Okay, I'll buy another pig. Now you have two pigs and a cow. Uh-oh. I have enough space, but I gotta make some room. I don't know where I'm gonna put this cow, man. Buy a feeding trough and place it in the fenced pasture. What does a feeding trough do? They double the amount of animals that a pasture or building can support. You can even put a feeding trough on an unfenced pasture to keep at least one animal there. Large pastures may have one feeding trough per pasture space. Okay, so I'm going to put my feeding trough here. And that lets me, as you can see, I just moved up to a maximum of 4 for that space. In the next tutorial, you'll learn how to build a stall. But to do this, you need some more resources. Choose the 2 stone space and end the round. So here I'm going to get 2 stones, or actually I think I'm getting 4 stones. Yeah, because see, there were every round it gains 2 stones, but since no one picked it last round, there's 4 there now. Now the breeding phase follows. You will gain 1 animal if you have at least 2 of that species. In this case, you'll get another pig. Since you have enough space left, your pig has been automatically placed. Yeah, so my third pig just got born. Now the breeding phase follows. You will gain, yeah. All right. Next tutorial. Build a stall, then upgrade it to a stable. To build a stall, we'll need some reeds. Gain some reeds. There's a space for everything, right? Gain some reeds using the building material space. So I pick my person. Oh, it looks like I'm going to get, at this building materials, I'm going to get wood, stone, and a reed. Yeah, as you can see here, +1 of everything. Very good. You now have enough resources to build a stall. You may keep up to 3 animals of the same species in a stall. There's a limited number of stalls in each game. If all have been placed, this action space will become unavailable. So I'm going to buy a stall. Looks like there's a limit of 4. All buildings are surrounded by 4 fences. You can use this to your advantage when building fenced pastures. Place the stall in the top left. All right. Brilliant. You only need 3 more fences and you'll have an additional big pasture. You can build fences out of stones or wood. If you choose the wall space, you'll even get the first 2 fences for free. Whoa. So I'm going to go to the wall space, build some walls. You get 2 fences for free, and with the remaining 2 stones, you can even buy a third. Connect your stall with the remaining pastures to get a new fenced pasture. Okay. Why am I not building there? All right, the breeding phase starts now. You get 1 additional pig. Yeah, so my pigs have been breeding, man. Now that pasture's full. Now it's time to get 1 or 2 additional species. Buy 3 sheep, please. So the idea in this game too is you want to get obviously livestock early because then they breed and make more victory points for you for a longer amount of time. All right, I've got 3 different animals now. Space is running out, so we best expand our farmland. This is a very simplified version of Agricola. That there's not a lot. You basically are only really working on the animals. Place a worker on the expand space. Yeah, Agricola is really kinky stuff. Very good. Obviously, terrible references that no one will get unless you love Kids in the Hall. Place a worker on the expand space. The available expansions are limited. If all have been placed, it only allows for more fences. Okay. So I'm not sure what expansion is going to do. You now get additional fences that can be placed with wood or stone, and one column with three additional pastures to enlarge your farmstead. Oh, okay. So it lets me get more tiles where I can put more stuff. I can place them on either side, but for now, let's place them on the left side. Okay. Lets me expand my farmland. That's what I want to do. Got to build some new pens. You don't have enough space left for animals to breed in the breeding phase. Buy one additional feeding trough and place it on the stall. You'll get enough space for 6 animals. Okay, place it on the stall space. Okay, now another breeding phase awaits. You get pig and a sheep. As you can tell, I've actually okay. I don't know if it'll let me look at victory points. Okay, I'm gonna go to the wood space to get some more wood. Wow, there's 12 on that space. So you can see how once it builds up, it becomes really tempting to get wood so you can do basically tons of projects with it. And now the wood in the start spare. Okay, so I'm gonna get wood for the start, and I'm gonna get to be starting player, even though I'm already starting player. But wood, more wood. So I'm gonna get some stables built up. You can upgrade as many stalls as you like. Each will cost you 5 wood or stone. So I'm gonna upgrade my stall, which I'm assuming increases by a lot, my ability to have more animals in there. And you'll notice one of the things that you could do is as you're seeing the breeding going on, you're going to have to start looking at um, where you're getting close to hitting your cap. So for pigs, I'm 6 out of 8. So I got to do something to either move them around to better farmland that has more space, or find a way of either building things that increase the amount of animals I can keep on the space they're on. And there's only a limited amount of that. A little hint regarding special buildings: every game provides 4 base buildings. If you bought one or more expansions, 4 random ones are added to that set. If in ranked games, these buildings will always be the same, but they may change from time to time to keep things interesting. Sometimes you need to move animals around to gain more space. Let me show you how to do that. Tap on your farm. Drag the sheep from the stall to your workers. So they're temporarily out, so I can redo things. Do the same with the pigs. Now drag the pigs or sheep back onto one of the free fields. Un- Unplaced animals will run away after each turn. Okay, so I got to move my pigs back. This is everything you need to know in order to play. Try a few rounds against the AI opponents or against friends before playing ranked games, though. All right. And that's Agricola, creatures big and small. So you can see they call it that obviously because it's not so much about running the whole farm, just the part about breeding the animals and running that part of the farm. Um, but it's a nice little two-player game. Um, and you can invite someone. How you do that, basically, I can't show you my Steam overlay, but you just bring up your friends list, and then you'll see an option to remote play together when you do that, and that will be how you do it. It's that simple, right? I'm not going to play a real game of this because it'll take a little bit longer. Oh, it looks like there's more buildings, big and small. So there is some DLC available, but it's a pretty fun little game to check out if you're ever interested in something kind of fun, little zen. It is a little bit more complicated. There are 16 spaces, but a lot of them, like I said, are just like, hey, do you want some wood? Here's some wood. So they're not overly complicated. The complicated part comes in figuring out the best way to keep upgrading your farm so that you can maximize the use and maximize the number of animals you have, which of course maximizes your victory points at the end. And it's all about also what also makes it complicated is trying to figure out how to get all of the animals up to a certain point where you're not losing victory points, and you're only getting positive victory points. It's another one of those Euro games that also makes you feel like there's not enough turns in the game and there's not enough resources and actions. And also, when you're competing with a second player for spaces, they're grayed out. because they went to them, that's also kind of frustrating. But you do go back and forth. So you have a couple of things you can do. Usually have some kind of alternative you can do, but it can be kind of annoying because you are competing for that in that one aspect. All right, so the last game we're going to take a look at as a fun little game. I highly recommend this game simply because of the fact that it is a really fun, simple game that you can do remote play together, and you and your friends will be surprised how quick you can pick it up. It still seems like there's a little bit of tactics to it and strategy. There's obviously a little bit of luck too because you're randomly drawing these tiles. Um, but it is Carcassonne, right? Which is one of the big games that I think kind of introduced me to European games in general, European board games. Um, and so, if you want to learn how to play, we'll go through the tutorial. It's very simple, though. And this is a really neat mod or adaptation of the board game because not only does it has a ton of things. Not only does it have the actual game, you can remote play, you can bring friends in even if they don't have a copy of the game, or if they do, you can play with them. But then it also has lots of really cool, um, I've some really cool uh, challenges and single player stuff to do as well. So that's really cool. So your goal is to build roads, cities, monasteries. You're basically kind of building a kingdom, and then if you own them, by putting your little meeples down on them, then you can score points, especially if you make them as big as possible. If it's like a road or a city. So in order to place a tile, this is every turn you draw a tile, and then you get to decide where you're going to place it. The nice thing is that they show you on the table the only places where you can place things. Now, in this case, we could put it up here on the top too, but it wants us to put it on the bottom. And then you can rotate the tile by tapping it. So you can rotate it whichever way. You'll notice that the only rule is that you have to make sure that the road, if there is one, connects. And that if there's a city, that it actually makes sense as far as building the uh, wall for it. It has to connect city-wise. So this looks like a good place to put that road, and it's a crossroads here. Now, the thing with crossroads is you'll notice that it kind of breaks up the road. So you can put a meeple um, on the road in any direction of the crossroads. But the problem is that you have to decide if you want to put it over here, you're not going to get points for the road that goes the other directions, right? So I'm going to put it here because that's going to actually give me more points at the end of the game because there's two tiles that have roads on them so far. That's why it had me put it there. So now we're going to see what the opponent does. Okay. So what opponents will try to do is when they get a tile, they'll try to put a tile down that ends the road for you so that you don't get that many points. You, on the other hand, are trying to do the opposite. You're trying to make the road last as long as possible. But you'll see what he did. He closed off my road. And what happened is I immediately, once my road is closed and has been finished, I get my meeple back and I get the victory points for however many tiles had roads on it. And you'll notice I had my crossroads tile, this middle one that was already there, and then the one that the blue guy put. So that's 3 victory points. Not too bad. And the nice thing is you get your meeple back. What you'll also run into in this game is your meeple will sometimes get stuck because you can't get tiles to let you keep building things like roads or cities or areas around monasteries. And the trouble with that is that if they get stuck and you lose all of your meeples because you're only limited to 7, then you actually can't play anything else, which sucks. So I got 3 points for the 3 tiles of the road. Now I can play my new tile. There's a lot of different choices I can put it. Yeah, these top 2 spaces or this bottom one. I think I'm going to start building a city. And I can rotate it this way. I can rotate it this way. The cool thing is if I rotate it this way, I'm going to be connected. But if you'll notice, he's already got a blue guy in that city. So I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to cut off his city from my city. So then I will get this city and its points. So we'll see what he's going to do. Oh, he's continuing on his city that way. Okay, so now my new tile that I got, I can't place it down here. Well, I could, but it's not going to help me finish my city. What this tile is a monastery. Now, with monasteries, what you want to do is you want to place them where eventually they will be surrounded on all sides by tiles. So if I were to put it here in this middle space, then I've already got it surrounded by 4 tiles. I've got it surrounded by 8. So I'm already halfway there. So this seems like the best place to go. I don't need to rotate it really. It doesn't matter what direction it's in. And then if I put my meeple on it, I always have a choice to put my meeple. If I don't think I can finish it, I don't have to. But right now, I've got 4 points because it's surrounded by 4 tiles. I don't get the points just yet. I have to actually finish, or the end of the game, I'll get 4 points. So there's only 10 remaining tiles. As you can see, it always lets you know how many tiles there are. So we got to make sure that we finish our city. And then I don't want to help Blue build his road here. Ooh, but I could. Now, why can't I put it there? Oh, so I can't put it in this space here because even though I could complete the city on this side, the road doesn't connect and it has to connect. So I'm going to keep working on my monastery and I'm going to close off Blue City, at least in this direction, and make it a little harder for him. I'm going to put a meeple on this road just to start working on it too. But you'll notice I'm already down to 4 meeple friends. He is okay, so he finished his road and he's working on a new one. All right, so that's pretty much it. You keep placing tiles and meeples if you want, and then you try to build as long a roads as possible. You try to build as big a cities as possible, and then you try to surround any monastery tiles that you're on. I can put this guy here and work on my monastery tiles plus build my road. That seems like a smart idea. So there's no way I can rotate it because otherwise the roads won't connect. And I don't place a meeple because of the fact that I already have a meeple on this road. Look at that. I have a piece that I could start building. I could finish my monastery. Um, yeah, I think I will put it here. Although it starts a city, that might be kind of hard to build my last tile. I'll think I'll work on that, put my meeple in that city too. Oof, blue is building a gigantic city. What I could do is I can place tiles to try to close off his city, but man, I really don't think that would be a smart idea because I'd be giving with this tile because I'd be giving him a lot of points. But I can build my own city here, and it's got a road connected to it and everything, so it fits right here. And you'll notice that some of the city tiles have these banners. What the banners mean is that you will get extra points. So see, blue has already got 2 extra points for his city. I only have 1, and I've got to finish the city, and there's only 4 tiles left. So I don't know if I'm going to do this. You get way more points for finished cities than cities that aren't finished. See, he just finished that city, so he gets 4 points immediately. Whereas if I don't finish a city, I only get partial points. Man, I've got a road here. I might as well keep working on making my road longer because I will get points for that at the end of the game, even if I don't finish both sides. And now he's been building more and more cities. He's got way more victory points than I do. So I can't use this. This is the thing that is a little frustrating about this game because you will often find yourself building crossroads or with getting tiles that you really don't want. I could put it up here and increase my points on my roads, which I think I will. Now, what happens if you put a meeple down and then you end up connecting to your own road? That's okay. Right now, these 3 meeples could be placed because there's no guarantee I will. So I'll go ahead and put that there. Oh, that's the end of the game. So he definitely won. um, okay, so incomplete roads are only worth 1 point per tile, but that's actually the same as what they'd be worth during the game. So you can kind of build roads and not worry about them. But cities, on the other hand, If you start a city and don't finish it, you're only going to get one at the end of the game. Oh, each monastery is worth +1 for all the tiles I got. So really, you're not going to lose any points or get half the points. You get the same amount of points. You just don't get the full 9, or I guess the full 8. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I did get 8. I did get 8, so you don't get the full 9. Incomplete cities are only worth 1 tile at the end of a game. Coats of armor are also worth 1 point each. Oh, I guess I did win. No, we haven't counted his yet. Okay, I was gonna say. Oh, did I beat him by 1 point? Boom! 1 point. Hey, Kachow man. How's it going? Hey, Zozomro. Interesting. So I unlocked a welcome wagon. So there's all kinds of little achievements, little challenges, things like that you can do. Um, let's see. Let's see what our local. Oh, you can buy other games. Looks like there's some. There's lots of expansions. You have an account? I guess I thought there were like these local challenges. Okay, let's say if there's one player. Oh, interesting. So there's a little bit of replayability for sure. You can play by yourself, but this is also a great pass and play game, which is where the local um, I can't ever remember it. Remote play um, together works really well. And the best thing about this whole situation, and why I kind of am talking about these types of games, is that it only requires one person to have a copy of the game. You can invite other people to play, so it's a lot of fun that way. So that's a kind of a look at different games, little fun little games that are available. They're great gateway games too. So if you are a pretty big board game fan, but maybe you have a friend or someone that's not as big of a board game fan, these are great games to kind of get them hooked in. Of course, Agricola would be a little bit more complex. Carcassonne would be a great start. Abalone would be a great start, and it's a great way to kind of help have fun and enjoy the remote time that we're already doing, the distancing, social distancing. I've even had some people talk to me about, hey, what should we do during they're doing some dating during this time. What kind of fun things are there to do? And obviously this is be a great fun thing to do if both of you have a computer. Uh, and so it's pretty cool in terms of that. Hello, how's it going? Um, So anyway, if you get a chance, check them out. There's lots of other board games. Obviously, I'll be looking at some more next week, some that you can play. I'm also hoping to have Gloomhaven finished, and so I could eventually get started with that in terms of the 4-player game. But it'll be a lot of fun. So exactly, you should play this with the boys. You should definitely get it out, take it out for a spin. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of these games. Some of them are available on the Humble Bundles. So they're pretty cheap. Asmodee does a lot of sales all the time on them, and they have a lot of these games. So there's a lot of fun um, to be had with that. And then, uh, so there's a lot of cheap ways to get them, and then you only have to have one copy to do remote play together. So, all right, well, we'll be back Saturday with the other people streaming. Our Imperial Assault campaign will be starting that. It'll be pretty cool to tune into that. So join us on Saturday if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I'll be back here next Tuesday streaming some more board game fun. All right, I'll see you guys later. Welcome to all the new people.